There was a man in the village who reminded me of the drunken dwarf.
They had some dwarves just like me, huh?
No, none of the dwarves were similar. They were quiet and respected, more or less. No, the one I remember was a human. He vomited in the street constantly. Then he wandered into a snowstorm and froze to death.
Huh? And how was that like me?
Did I say similar? I meant I hoped he was similar.
I think I had a wife like you once.
So, I have a question for you, dwarf.
Oh, sounds like you're passing a stone there. Get it? Passing a stone?
I do get it, yes. My question is this. Had the anvil of the void not been destroyed, does it believe the dwarves would have used it?
You mean to create more golems? Oh, yes. Faster than you could squish a nug.
Even knowing the agony that it caused, they would still inflict it on others?
No need to inflict it. There'd be plenty ready and willing to sign up, just as you did. There's fewer and fewer of us each year, and the Darkspawn never run out. If it meant saving Orzammar, there'd be plenty who'd become a golem, sure.
Does it think it was wrong to destroy the anvil, then?
No. Sometimes people need to be kept from doing stupid things, even for good reasons.
It is referring to its former wife?
I think some statues should sod off and ask their sodded questions to someone else. So...
What? Why is the drunkard staring at me?
So you were a girl dwarf.
And what of it?
So essentially right now, you're a naked girl dwarf.
Who is also made of stone. Erase the mental image in your head, drunkard, or I will crush it out with my fists.
Hot.
Would the drunken dwarf have saved its former wife if it could? I assumed that since the drunken dwarf was a master of the inappropriate, it lacked the ability to actually be offended.
Good call. Truth is, I don't know. She was almost crazier than when we were married, it looked like.
Almost. It is exaggerating, surely.
Branka was always a bit twitchy. There was that day she took her forging hammer to my head for misplacing her tongs. Good times.
I'm finding the nature of its relationship to this Branka difficult to imagine.
Make-up sex. She really knew how to polish the old anvil, if you take my meaning. Paragon. Yeah.
I'm done imagining now. Drunken dwarf fights reasonably well.
You don't have to make it sound like you're passing a stone to admit it.
It is not physically weak or entirely inept in combat.
You looking to borrow money or something?
I'm saying that there are worse things than being forced to fight at its side.
Good to know. Should I drop my trousers now, or are you done?
Done. Very done.
You know, I've seen a golem or two in my time. We have them in Orzammar.
It is indeed wise in the ways of the golem. It deserves a medal.
Thing is, I don't remember anyone ever mentioning about them having memory problems.
Perhaps they're not the ones with the memory problems.
I talked to a golem once. It didn't have anything interesting to say, but its memory, sharp. It could tell you what you were wearing at the Barnack Festival 10 years ago.
Probably vomit and flies and little else, if I were to guess.
Of course, if someone simply claimed to have lost their memory, that would avoid some awkward questions.
Is it still talking? It is not drinking, so it must be.
Fine, fine. You go on and don't answer me. You'll screw up sooner or later. So, you remember your old master's name, right? And everything about him?
Is it still going on about my memory? Such focus must be incredibly difficult for it to maintain.
You don't remember killing him, or how you got all free-willed or anything. But you do remember the next 30 years?
More or less. My former master did something to me which I do not remember. What is its point?
Ah, how could you know he did something to you, unless you remember it?
Let us, for argument's sake, assume it is correct. I murdered the fool on purpose, and remember it. Why would I lie?
Because you, could do it again.
Yes. I waited 30 years, biding my time until I could strike. Soon my betrayal shall be complete.
Exactly. I knew it. Ha!
Well, do not tell anyone. I want it to be a surprise when it happens.
I think I got it now. Why you claim to forget about that murdering bit.
Oh, do tell. Does it involve prostitutes and quaint mining references?
You're embarrassed.
I am embarrassed.
You're a proud one. If I know anything, it's when someone's too proud for their own damn good. And whatever that mage dug up in you, it made you lose control, didn't it? You go on and on about how humans are weak and they die so easily. And you should know, right? Slip up once and they die, just like that.
This is its theory?
I bet you even like the guy. Easier to believe you killed someone you hate, though, huh?
It knows nothing. It knows less than nothing.
About screwing up? I know lots. More than lots. But you just go on thinking whatever you like, Stonebritches. So, do golems know any good jokes?
I know at least one. It is a drunken dwarf that travels with the Grey Warden, constantly belching and...
Bah! I mean a real one. You must have overheard at least one or two standing there as you did for years and years.
There was a human man who once started telling a joke to another as he relieved himself on my leg. I confess I didn't listen. I was too busy planning my revenge.
Huh? And what happened to him?
He disappeared during the fighting in Honleith. Tragic. Hit his head on a rock, I think.
Remind me not to fart anywhere near you.